This is a video about how to deal with extreme nerves on your driving test. So this is obviously completely massive. Over the years, I've had people throwing up in the bathroom before going to their test, or visibly shaking, turning green. I've sat in the back of tests and I can see people's hair shaking. I can see their whole body shaking. My first advice to you, at the very top piece of advice, is make sure that you've learnt how to drive properly. So I remember specifically going to test with one person, and I know this was years ago, and I remember her not liking the parallel park. And when the examiner asked her to do the parallel park, I could see her hair shaking. So she was all right before that, but when she got asked to do the parallel park, her hair started shaking. Now, she was all right. She did actually pass, which is it's a successful story. But the point is, we should have done more work on the parallel park in hindsight. This is a long time ago, but I feel sad that she had those nerves when she went to her test, even though she was successful. You know, with the knowledge that I have now, I would have got her to do way more parallel parks. Yeah. Also, if your driving instructor has a lot of students, which we all do, we are extremely busy. I'm sure that you know that it's very difficult to get a driving instructor at the moment because we're very, very, very busy. If your driving instructor has got 45 students, make sure that you communicate with your driving instructor. Make sure that they know where you feel that you might have a weakness. If you don't like hill starts, or if you don't like parallel parks, or if you don't like fast driving, definitely communicate. I know that your driving instructor is of course writing all this stuff down to remember where you are, but they've got a lot of students and they also can't mind read. So do communicate with your driving instructor. Tell them, I feel nervous about parallel park, or I feel nervous about hill start, or I feel nervous about driving fast and entering 6th gear or 5th gear. And, you know, go and do those things a million times so it just doesn't matter anymore. So that's my first bit of advice. Now, second of all, we are dealing with a biological problem because we are activated by fight or flight, and we have a sympathetic nervous system and a parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for getting you out of danger in fight and flight. And then the parasympathetic nervous system is then activated after you calm down, right? So if you can remember a time in your life where you've been super, super stressed, not necessarily your driving exam, right? But you're going to be highly stressed, breathing shallow, feeling bad, nervous and shaking, yeah, all of those things, and that's your sympathetic nervous system working for you to give you fight or flight, to be able to react to danger and fear, and you can get yourself out of things. Now, obviously, this same system is going to be used in driving because we're not necessarily chased by lions and tigers these days, yeah, but things like driving tests are as scary as those things, yeah, or your body certainly thinks so. So we go into the sympathetic nervous system because your body is now trying to get you away from danger. Fight or flight is activated. Now, don't worry. So the sympathetic nervous system is extremely useful for making us think quickly. It's giving us focus, yeah. And I think a little bit of this is good, right? Because it makes us concentrate. You know, I mean, can you imagine going to your driving test sleepy and like not with it? And I mean, that would be even worse. So thank you, sympathetic nervous system. We do need your help. Thanks a lot, because we need to be aware. We need to be thinking. We need to be acting quickly. Yeah. So it's all good. Yeah. We need a bit of that. So I'm not trying to get rid of it completely, but sometimes it just goes that little bit too far. Right. So if we had a gauge, yeah, that just went like that, and this is a needle. If you're here and you're basically over there, that's basically asleep. Yeah. That's no good, yeah. Your stress goes up, yeah. And let's say that like this would be the best possible place for you to be, yeah. And then it tips over to bad, and this is where you're throwing up and stuff like that. Now, we basically want to be somewhere where we can have that sympathetic nervous system working for us and making us alert and eager to see the problems and aware, yeah, and woken up, yeah. That's all good for our driving test. But if it goes over to just tips slightly and goes over, then we can start shaking, and it can actually be a hinder. So what we need to do is just make sure that we're bringing it back a bit, so it's like helping us to the best possible way that it can. So if you start to feel that you're tipping over and you've got all this like butterfly feelings and shaking, first thing to do is just try not to be too worried about it. Buy some rescue remedy, get your calms, yeah, from over the counter, yeah. I've spoken about this before. If it's really, really bad, obviously the doctor can help you. But I'm talking about normal sets of nerves, when they're just tipping over a little bit too far. Do think of the energy as useful, So when you're feeling all of that inside you, just think, this is my sympathetic nervous system working hard for me to concentrate and keep me focused, You're going to need a bit of that. So just start to bring it back. Now, there's a couple of things that you can do, Here's a little explanation about the parasympathetic nervous system to begin with. Okay, so quick biology lesson. So we've got a sympathetic nervous system, and that's the one that makes us take action and gives our body adrenaline, and that makes us move quickly in situations of danger or fear. And we've got the parasympathetic nervous system that's responsible for making us feel calm and restores us and resets us after the feelings of danger and fear. So in a nutshell, what we want to do is activate the parasympathetic nervous system ourselves by doing various things to make us calm down. Okay, so if you were to Google how to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, you're going to get answers like get a massage, spend time in nature, practice prayer or meditation, practice deep breathing, right? So there's obviously lots of things that you can do to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, like play with a pet and stuff. But obviously these things aren't going to be something that you can do on your driving test. But breathing technique is something that we can do on the driving test. We can do it before, we can do it during, and maybe even afterwards when you're waiting for your results as well. Okay, so if you Google breathing techniques to help you with your anxiety and stress, you're going to find loads of different breathing techniques. You're going to find box breathing, which is 4-4-4, in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4. You might find in for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. Or you may even find the 7-11 technique, which is my favourite. So you breathe in for 7 and then you breathe out for 11. So it's basically tricking your body into going into the parasympathetic nervous system as quickly as possible. So you're tricking it to go into that. So the out for 11 is the most important part of it, because you're controlling it and releasing it slowly. And this will therefore start to lower your heart rate, and it's going to start making things feel way better for you. So controlling your breathing in a 7-11 is definitely something that I recommend. Okay, so I hope that little biology lesson helped for you. But the point is, we can use this breathing technique to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. We've got control over our breathing. It's something that we can do, and we can use ourselves to get that parasympathetic nervous system, like just getting our sympathetic nervous system under wraps a bit. We do need it. We're not trying to get rid of it completely. We do need its help, but we just need it to come back to the suitable place for us to be able to work and focus, and work well and see the danger. So it's not at that tipping point. Other things that you can do to trick your body into thinking that it's got the parasympathetic nervous system, not only breathing, right? But chewing gum, right? Now, the reason why I promote this, and I talk to my students about this, is if you were being chased by a lion or a tiger, the last thing that you're going to do is eat some food, So chewing some chewing gum is really important, because your body is now saying, oh, okay, I'm taking on food, That's a bit odd. The danger can't be that bad. So get some chewing gum in the car, Trick your nervous system to think that everything's all right. It's okay, right? So chew some chewing gum, Trick your body into thinking that we're not actually in a stressed place, Now, the other thing that you can do is you can anchor in times of calm. Now, this is kind of like you'd have to kind of like do some meditation in your private time, maybe even some hypnosis, right? And just anchor in some time where you can remember how you felt calm, and just visualize that calm place, and then just think about it really carefully and lodge it in your mind, okay? And then visualize yourself holding the steering wheel, okay? Holding the steering wheel, feeling the steering wheel in your hands, and thinking, I'm in control, And link those two feelings together. Think about yourself on the most calm and relaxing place that you've been. I don't know, maybe you were on holiday on like a sun lounger somewhere. Close your eyes, think about that time, think about how relaxed you are, and then consider yourself holding the wheel, and just think, I'm going to adopt that calm feeling, and I'm going to have it as I hold a steering wheel. And I'm going to use my breathing technique, my 7-11 perhaps, or my box breathing, yeah. If on your driving test you need the breathing techniques, perhaps you could just do a 4-4, in for 4, out for 4, you know. Remember, you can pull up on the left if you're super stressed as well. Just say to the examiner, I just need a moment. Do you mind if I pull up on the left? It's quite rare that people actually go through with that, but if you're really, really needing that, just pull up on the left, all right? Just say to him, I need a moment. Now, within reason, of course, you know, you can't do that for too long, but within reason, you're going to be allowed to catch your breath and just take a moment, all right? If you're really feeling that you can't concentrate at all because you've just feel like you've lost it, just ask to pull up on the left and just take a moment, yeah? Because he wants you to hold it together. He wants to help, yeah? So use your breathing, visualize yourself being calm. Think about that lovely time that you've been calm on your sun lounger or anything, and bring it into your car a little bit just before you start, yeah? Not on your actual driving test too much, because you need to concentrate. But before you start, try and imagine yourself, yeah? And also see yourself succeeding, guys. See yourself succeeding. Try and say, at the end of the day, I'm going to have my driving license. At the end of this hour, I'm going to have my driving license. I'm a driver, yeah? Think about it in the positive. You know, you're going to go to your driving test one day and you are going to pass. The only person who is responsible for you not getting your driving license is you, because if you give up, then you don't get it. So if not this time, it's going to be another time, right? It's going to happen at some stage. When you go to your driving test, you're going there to pass your test, and it's going to happen at some stage. So why not this time? So just think to yourself, this is it. This is the time I'm going to get my driving license. I'm going to succeed today. I've done all these driving lessons. I've practiced absolutely everything. I feel ready. There isn't a subject that this examiner can give me that I don't know. I know how to do this, yeah? And that is my strong advice. If you have practiced, and you've done mock tests, yeah, and you're close to passing your mock test. You don't necessarily have to pass a mock test, but you need to be close to passing, yeah? And practice and make sure that when he says you're going to do the parallel park now, that you don't get this hair shaking thing. You've done all this practice, yeah? And go in there, make sure that you've slept well. If you can face food in the morning, I do suggest it. Careful with your coffee intake, yeah? As I said on another video, I had somebody had 6 Red Bulls before their test and they were a mess. You know, be careful with your coffee intake. Just have one and just make sure you're awake. Don't get up late, get up early, yeah? And so, not so you've got more time to stress, just so you're more awake, yeah? And just be kind to yourself, you know. Meditate. If you're into meditation, meditate the night before. Have a bath the night before, yeah? Talk to your driving instructor, yeah? If you're having a warm-up hour, just do the things that will be relaxing on that warm-up hour. Try not to learn to drive on your warm-up hour. Sometimes my students say to me, oh yeah, okay, so we've got that hour before test. That's not a time for learning. That is a time for just spot checking things, making sure you've got your license, making sure that everything's in order, yeah? And then you just pop off to your driving test. That is not supposed to be a driving lesson. That is just to go there and have everything ready, yeah? And then you just go in 15 minutes early. All right, guys? So just keep all of that in mind. And I really, really hope this helps you. I really do, because I know that nerves sometimes can be a real issue for someone, all right? So I hope this helps, guys. I really do. Take care and go smash this driving test, guys. You can do it.